time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New England Patriots. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, but you was smacking
they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve.
Fat boy.
And right away, he lost the football.
Wow,
that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Shift together here from the D-line. Here's Foles. Double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, it's Brady. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Instead of the running back in New England, sometimes they like to call them the passing backs. They get them the ball in different ways, don't they?
They certainly do. Think about the ones they've had in recent vintage. You talk about Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen. James White could have been the MVP in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a certain quarterback that was on the field that day. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On third down, it's Lewis. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out. Well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters losing the all-world left tackle? And Halapoulivaati Vaitai, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
Down to the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Dancing to his left. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles, the backup quarterback turned MVP? 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Again, it's Lewis. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He's never...
Now they'll throw with Brady. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he couldn't handle it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Nice one.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Guy. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the 2nd quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. 1st quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
The runner-up New England Patriots offense back onto the field. And I wanted to get your thoughts on the offense for this crew as they go into 2018. How do they stack up, Charles?
Typically, New England, pretty darn stable. One of the goals going into the offseason was to try and hold on to running back Dion Lewis. Because coupled with James White, that's a heck of a tandem. Of course, the big fella, Gronk. You know, you find him another all-pro year in 2017. And remember, before 2017 began, they picked up Brandon Cooks in a trade at wide receiver. That paid off in a big way. He had his 3rd straight 1,000-yard season in the NFL. And then, of course, there's Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan, and they expect to get back Julian Edelman for all of 2018, coming off of a knee injury.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Throwing on first down is Brady.
Get some respect out here. Like, get some respect out here.
Cooks, and it's intercepted.
Get off of him.
Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the
Get some respect out here.
At the 35-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl.
In this game.
But third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
They go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999?
Give me some respect out here. Give me some respect out here.
Earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. James Harrison coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. On play action, they'll throw. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but
we don't do that. We don't do that around here, buddy.
Bounce back. Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshon Lattimore on defense.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Brady.
Let's go, man. I'm about to say, come on.
Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll run it now out of the gun. Lewis has the first down and then some. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Dion Lewis, as the first half is winding down, and the Pats able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Brady looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They run again with Ajayi. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring out a good one as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper.
Play with the Eagles, great trash in this game.
In the first half, that worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go. New England on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They try again with Lewis. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Brady gives this one to Lewis.
That's all that you got, bro. You trash. All you can do is run, bro. You lucky I can get teams I really wanted to get.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Pass the ball, bro.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And a first hook up.
He playing against bombs, bro. He play like dudes.
7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to
come on, bro.
And catch the ball.
I'm done.
Down inside the 15
just want to freaking play with the Eagles, bro.
That one good for 13 and a New
Because
England
I freaking
first
play with the Eagles. Everybody, all they want to do is be a bomb and run.
The runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Vinny Curry able to collapse the pocket and drop it for a loss of a yard. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Right play for it.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Brady goes underneath here to White. And he'll be shoved to the turf that time at the 12-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12
What kind of
16.
game is
I think in the
this?
second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
What type of game is this, bro?
Back as he's taken down in the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey.
Thank you. Let's go.
25. A big play there for the Eagles on third down. 57 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he shifts past him. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. The fourth quarter, you're coming up thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Zach, what was that, bro?
How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow...
Thank you, Zach. Let's get it.
For an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles, if they hit the PAT, they will be in the lead. And his kick is right through. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good effort on the return.
Go, y'all.
Across the
30
to the 33-yard line.
You don't lose.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now.
And
last time
still
they got 3
don't lose.
points, but it was a chip
You
shot
get wins.
field
We
goal.
win. All we do is win, no matter what.
The offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
Fletcher call.
But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
He just got this running back.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him.
Oh, you two are trying to see somebody on.
Throw on second down. He gets it into the hands of Gronk. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll be a New England first down and gain of 12.
Like, he trying to run.
That's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it?
See that tackle really working there.
Gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
It's poor. It's poor.
Now they'll run with Lewis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
They'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Lewis.
As I thought.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. New England on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. He's back to throw. And this is
he left him open.
Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Back to throw, Brady. His throw incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Well, that's true. You've said that before. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly.
I messed up. The game trash, bro.